All right. Welcome back, and I do mean welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. And actually, well, I say another episode. It's only the second episode of Cash or Trash. All right. So I'm not joined by most people today. Normally we have like a bigger panel. Maybe you usually have like four or more. That's including myself. Today, a little bit last minute. Not really too rushed, but we're going to get to it anyway. And today I am joined by a new member to the table, my boy, Berserkules.
What up? Good to be here.
Yeah, my boy over here. Definitely got him, finally got him over here. So,
man.
But yeah, man, like me and Berserk, y'all see me stream with him a lot. We've done a lot of Destiny streaming. Definitely done Apex where he's better than me for sure because I suck heavily at Apex.
Only slightly.
But I suck. I will look. I could not play Apex for shit.
When it comes to Destiny, though, Tone, you know your stuff.
PVE anyway. PvP, I'm like average.
Yeah, but when it comes to PVE, you're the man that knows the loadout, so
that's true.
We need you.
But man, I think it's going to be a good one. And then we also joined by the boy, the one, the only, Nullified Saint. All right, so with these two with me today for this table, for this episode of Cash or Trash, we're going to be talking and discussing Destiny 2. I think one of y'all got an echo going on.
No, sounds like he's on his phone.
No, reset your headset, bro.
Who, me?
No. If it keeps going, I don't care. I'm just hear myself talking.
Yeah, it's the headphones, bro.
All right. But yeah, so no, Destiny 2. Today we're going to discuss it. This is probably not going to be a long topic. Well, not to say it wouldn't be a long topic. It could be a long topic if we have more people. But since it's just the three of us, I feel like we will get to the nitty-gritty real quick. I am going to bring in some opinions from people who couldn't be here today as well. Because like Cobalt wanted to be here, but he had work. And he got swamped with that. He does the whole digital artistry stuff. So he got swamped with that. So I'm gonna bring in his opinion. I'm bringing some of what Grim wanted to say, some of what Dinky wanted to say. Latex Worm. So, but without further ado, let's get into it. All right. My first question is, and this is like, I think the question is going to break down everything. How do you feel about the state of Destiny 2 right now? And where we're headed? Let's be real, because Destiny 2, for all of us, I think, has had that dumb back and forth where we hate it and we put it down, and then we'll come back to it like, oh, that's dope. Let's do that. You know what I mean? Like we have that love-hate relationship. So what do you think about the state of it now and where it's headed?
I guess I'll take this one to start with. I think I agree with what you said. We go back and forth. We love and hate it. I think that, when we do PvE content, it really gets repetitive unless we're doing new challenges to challenge ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we try to one up what we did last time. PvP is, for me, that makes the game for me. However, when you go in it alone,
right, it's
not really not that fun. Noel can attest to this. Him and I have 2v3 people in survival, and we have come out, triumphant. We go in there, we have fun, we play with weird loadouts, we make call-outs. That is the fun aspect of Destiny for me, that when we learn how to collaborate, when we learn how to work together, I just feel like it's so much more fluid than, let's say, Apex, like you brought up earlier. Even though you're on a team, everyone is in a party on the headset, it's still hard to coordinate an attack. Whereas in Destiny, I think since it's a little slower paced and you actually have time to communicate before you go in,
right,
I think that's what makes the game real great, really, really cooperative. But it's getting to a point for me where I had to take a break because the Crucible was getting so toxic. There really wasn't much for me to do. I mean, let's face it, no one's out to play Gambit. you pick up the Gambit bounties and you never complete them.
All right, in all honesty, I played Gambit for a few just to get to the power, just to get my light level up for a few for like what a few like the first 2 to 3 weeks. That was it, and then I was like, how did Gambit didn't used to be as toxic as it was, but now even Gambit is toxic. Like PvP was always toxic, but Gambit was that new refresh of PvE versus PvP. But it's like it got so toxic to the point that you can go in like even we've done it. We've done it. Multiple just spawns into the other side. Like it can just snipe at people. Like it's so toxic to the
what
point.
happened to Gambit? What happened there is if you go and invade. All right, let's say we have an invader in our area. If you die by whatever enemies are there, it counts towards that
To that person
invader
killing you. Yeah.
Only when they have their primeval up, or when we have our primeval up, I should say.
And they
Then
never
it
fixed that.
starts doing that.
And they never fixed it.
That might have been something they added in. You know what I mean? Because it was making it a little difficult. Both of you can attest to this. Those enemy teams can easily melt that primeval within a matter of less than 10 seconds.
Especially when they have the proper communication.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have, the right people. But I mean, what 4 people are gonna hop in a party and say, "Hey, y'all, let's do Gambit"?
That's real. It's like Gambit is kind of repetitive at this point where you're like, you just do it for the bound and the weapons, the weapons. Which I ain't gonna lie, I kind of want to play Gambit just to see if I can get another roll on that SMG. That's the only 3. Because I got one with feeding frenzy. Oh. Nasty. No, wait, no. Not feeding. No, not feeding frenzy. Frenzy. I got one with frenzy. Nasty. That SMG with frenzy is nasty. But what do you think, Noel? What's your opinion on the state of Destiny 2 and where it's headed?
Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, my headphones are just weird as fuck, bro. I'm gonna make sure to do my next headset next time. What was the question again? I apologize.
How do you feel about the state of Destiny 2 and where it's headed?
Well, with the gun metas, I mean, usually you can steer from them, you can go towards them. I mean, you can actually fight against them. I mean, recently, like y'all said, we've been dealing with trouble in PvP. PvP is actually pretty decent, pretty great. I mean, of course, seems like we're getting old content, but I mean, hey, dude, I mean, as long as it's bringing something fresh back to the table that we can mess with, I mean, I'm cool with grinding. You got nothing else to do, man,
Yeah.
There's other games that you can play, but Destiny, I mean, everybody seems to steer away from Destiny, but I actually have fun playing Destiny, man, especially with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can literally play that all day, man. PvP, PvE in general.
Yeah, I have a good. Like that's the thing. If you're gonna play Destiny because of how repetitive. I'm sorry, it is now. I feel like you gotta have a squad that you can go in with and have a good time and laugh and say, and laugh, rage, say dumb stuff with. Like it adds to the factor, and then like you gotta have people to do dungeons and raids with because that's what makes it so much different. Like as strikes get repetitive. Unless they add it, which I'm real with the next season, they're hoping they add like a new strike or 2. That would be really nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's also the good concept of LSG. I mean, you have the chance to meet other Guardians, other people that are playing the game. I mean, you can actually, if you don't have nobody, you can get someone together, and I mean, you could squad up and shit, you could make friends with them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Just strikes, PvP, raids, dungeons.
That's true.
Going, But
one of my favorite aspects of PvP, kind of building off what Noel said, is that it does get a little aggravating at sometimes when people use the meta. But I think the fun part, and I've definitely had experiences with Noel. I've had experience with Utone and Risky, who's not here right now, is a very good PvP player in Destiny. One of the things that we try to do is we try to counter that meta.
Exactly.
So if we got 3 of them with shotguns. Now the new challenge is, okay, they won the first 2 rounds. How do we come back from this?
Mm-hmm.
And, swapping things up, repositioning ourselves, taking away that lane. I mean, I constantly see YouTube videos of these big-time streamers, Grenader J, Frostbowl, ZK Mushroom, and they win against cheaters. They win against aimbotters. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And it's a matter of changing up your strategy, not so much the guns. And I've played with Risky before, where he's told me, and like I hated to admit at the time, but he said, Berserk sniping's just not working out for you today. You should swap your weapons. And sometimes that's what you need.
Yeah,
you need to swap that up.
I'll be the first to say that like I'll try sniping or I'll try shotgunning. If it don't work for me, I'll real quick I'll switch to like a SMG or my old trusty hand cannon I know I can rely on. Shoot, even now scouts have become so nasty as a meta is ridiculous. And like they have that very balanced range.
No, with the hung Jerry, man.
No,
listen,
he always using this hung Jerry,
no
bro.
With the hung Jerry.
No, bro. Even if you got what's the name of the new scout rifle? The exotic one. I forgot the name of it real quick. I can't hear you, Berserk. What you say?
No, I'm telling my dog to stop because he barking right now.
Oh, okay.
You said it's an exotic?
Yeah, the one without the old fashioned scout. I mean the old fashioned aim. The iron sight.
Man's Tail?
Yeah, Dead Man's Tail. I couldn't think of it. Damn. But yeah, bro, that's probably the nastiest scout for PvP and PvE in the game right now. Like, in my personal opinion, like that thing is, especially PvE, that thing destroys.
Oh, absolutely. But I think in PvP, one of those, like what I've seen a lot, people have been bringing back the Randy's throwing knife, especially in survival, because there's no
there's no light.
There's no light advantage in that one. But then that what is it called? The trustee. Anything that's
the trustee is disgusting.
Anything that's automatic, anything that's a high fire rate, because that thing makes you flinch.
It does.
You know what I mean?
It does. And like all you do is literally you just gotta aim and you just hold the trigger. It's like there's no way you're not, especially if you got one with like a good reload perk, or like if you got a high impact reserves. It's nasty.
Now here, let me raise this question to both of you, because this is something that irritates me, but at the end of the day, Destiny has the guns in there. They're free to use, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about people using weapons that we consider trash? For example, when someone spams gnawing hunger and just sprays and prays, whereas we like to use hand cannon or guns that have more of a precision, like you need to land your shots.
All right, here's what I say about that.
What do you guys think about that?
When gnawing hunger, you still gnawing hunger will shred anybody, and anybody who uses it, I don't really consider them trash. But at the same time, it's everybody's. What do you put it? Like, how do you put it? Everybody's leaned on that as a crutch for so long in PvP that like I'm just like at this point we just call it a trash weapon because everybody's crutching on it. And then when it was supposed to get nerfed, like not nerfed, but like sunsetted, they were like, "Oh yeah, let's surprise you guys real quick. These weapons are no longer being sunsetted." And like, so we're not doing sunset no more. No, we only wanted to sunset certain weapons, especially people who were able to finally get the not forgotten or Luna's Howl. Like Destiny screwed us over when they did that. Like,
and I mean personally, I use sidearm as my secondary.
No, a sidearm is nasty.
And I mean, some people do run a sidearm, but me, that's my go-to on anything. If I don't finish it up with a scout rifle or an auto, and that sidearm cleans up, dude. Sidearms are pretty freaking good. I don't really have to use or mess with the meta,
Right. Now, I will say this: the most trash weapon that I hate going against, that people crutch on, is the Jotun, the goddamn Jotun.
Oh, not even Crimson?
Not even what?
Not even Crimson?
The Crimson?
Mm-hmm.
The Crimson, I can't.
Crimson, Jotun, and Telesto. No.
Yeah. Telesto is disgusting. Like you just leave landmines everywhere and you're just gonna kill somebody. Like,
Yeah.
but like the Jotun, bro.
Now there is a way to dodge those, but like when you're in those tight situations
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to go on a five spree, 10 spree, you're trying to get a seventh column, and then like one little celestial dot on the floor ruins that for you. Like, that's definitely going to aggravate you.
Exactly. It's just certain weapons you gotta be prepared to go against, especially in like competitive. If it's just regular like crucible or like control or whatever, at the end of the day, you out there having fun just to shit on people. But like competitive gets so toxic so quick because everybody wants those rewards, and then you run into cheaters, you run into people who be lag switching, you run into people who be going over, he would mess, who be what do you call it? They be messing with the internet and glitching out and internet in and out. You know what I mean? It's just you got to be ready to go for that when you're in PvP. PvE, PvE. The thing about PvE for me that makes it frustrating is the RNG when you're trying to go for a specific weapon. If your RNG is not good that day, you got to be like, shit, I'll try another day. RNG is everything in PvE, man.
That they're saying for before next season, they're saying that they fixed a problem where it wasn't giving you a different type of rare type of roll for a certain gun. Like it kept giving you this certain type of roll on accident.
Right.
Like it was just it was a common thing right now, and it was just shown in the patches that next season they're fixing this to where there'll be a greater chance of getting different rolls for different weapons because this whole season I guess they had it to where on that they didn't mean to, but they had it to where you basically got the same gun. I mean you could do 20 grandmasters and you probably get 5 or 6 of the same rolls
Yeah.
straight in
I
a row, or
mean, you
maybe
you
not.
definitely had that chance where you got lucky and you got that role that you wanted. But after like 5 grandmasters, after like 20 different overrides, like 20 overrides, killing like 50 different champions, you're like, finally, like,
Yeah, I do actually like how you know, they added some obstacles, because if you just go through a strike and you melt the boss, especially when it's a certain singe and it's like
yeah,
what do they call it, heavyweight or something like that boss stands no chance,
at all.
But
Especially with the
I
new
do like how
exotics,
they
it's like,
added.
cause all right, if you like Berserk is a Titan main for the most part. He also plays Hunter, but like Titan main, like Thunder Crash with the chest piece is disgusting. And then
Yep.
you got. I'll be honest with you. All exotics this season were disgusting, disgusting. The like the and then like all we got was late new exotics for legs, and then the chess pieces from the previous season, disgusting, all of them. Like, and then like what was the legs, the Star Eater scales for the Hunter? You basically just gave us Orpheus rigs with a different perk. They're disgusting.
Well, they are reworking that, so definitely give credit to Rick Katkis. Watching his videos about the TWAB updates and whatnot. But
Mm.
any exotic that is an ability regen is now capped at 50%. So
Mm.
Star Eater, Nezarec Sin, anything Phoenix Protocol, anything that gives you super energy back or any ability energy is going to be capped at 50%. And then you heard what they're doing to the other ones, like the Bombardiers next this
Bruh,
season are going to be
Bombardier's
discussed.
supposed to be nasty, and I got me a good roll, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Say less.
I like how they're reworking that. The one issue I have with PvE is every season when they give you the new mods for Barrier, Overload, Unstoppable, is that you are more likely to use those weapons. So, for an example, they're doing something with bows, right? I don't know if it's Unstoppable
It's
or
overload.
something.
It's overload bow again.
Overload. So you're gonna see Trinity Ghoul, you're gonna see the Tiku's Divination, you're gonna see Lay Monarch, you're gonna see a lot of these bows coming back and people crutching. Because look, I'm not gonna lie, when we had Unstoppable Grenade Launcher, salvage your salvo all day. Salvage your salvo with the Dead Man's Tail for anti-barrier.
Yeah,
You know?
and not to mention Anarchy or
So
Witherhoard.
Yeah, so you're more likely to use a lot of those same things.
Like,
I
and
do
then
like going to Banshee and getting his thing so that you can swap up your weapons a little
right.
bit. And one important thing I like to do in my PVE stuff is I actually like to run my PvP loadout a little bit because
Mm,
that actually helps me target heads.
okay.
So when you're in a PvP with the sniper, trying to snipe one of those scions that's drifting across the map, or one of those annoying fallen that will take 3 pot shots at you and run away. Trying to snipe heads, trying to get that firefly with the ace of spades or something. That's something for me that's like a really good tip. Sometimes use your PvP loadout.
Yeah. All right. So here's my next question now. What? How do y'all feel about the changes to the kinetic weapon slot with stasis weapons being kinetic weapons with the perks that they get, and kinetic weapons having infinite ammo reserves? Like,
This is not something I've heard about, so I'm,
yeah,
I'm gonna
no,
let
this is
Noel
what
take
this
this
was
one.
all in the TWAB for this week, this last Thursday. Stasis weapons are all going to be in the kinetic slot. They're not going to be energy weapons, but their perks are gonna affect you as a stasis weapon would, slow, making you slow, making you freeze, depending on how the perk works. Whereas also all kinetic slot weapons, you don't have to worry about ammo no more. They have infinite ammo.
Now, infinite ammo PVE or both PvP and
I
PvE?
think it's both.
Because that's where some of the problem comes. Because in PvP, all three of us we love using hand cannons,
Hmm.
but you know that there's a limited reserve for that.
Yeah,
So every once in a while, primary ammo might spawn on the ground after you kill an enemy. Sometimes it doesn't. You probably won't see it in survival on like a 3v3 type style, but definitely in like a control or a clash, 6v6, you'll be able to refill that. Because I've had times and one of those sidearms like a Suro sidearm or something, the pea shooter. When you empty that clip, you're gonna go through ammo real quick.
that's true.
You know,
Especially a
so
sidearm with multiple rapid fire.
that would be my concern right there. I don't think that you should have that, because think about how much easier grandmasters are going to be. Yeah, it might take you an hour to finish one, but you're going to have infinite ammo.
Yeah, think about it.
You
Infinite
know.
ammo on all kinetic slot weapons. We just talked about the Dead Man's Tail. That's a kinetic slot
hmm
weapon.
Yeah, just think about sitting back the whole nightfall or something and just constantly firing. Like you're not really doing much except just sitting behind a barrier somehow and just shooting
Yeah, because
the
especially
whole
when you're doing
time.
a grandmaster nightfall, it don't matter how long you take to beat it, because once you're gonna hit 100K regardless. And then even if you don't hit 100K, you did a grandmaster. You're guaranteed to get some good ass drops as soon as you complete it.
Oh, absolutely. Now, when they say all kinetic slots, they're talking about primary ammo, because I know they're not
I
talking
think they
about the
talk about
sniper
primary.
rifle.
I don't think if they're talking about secondary ammo, then we got a problem, because Wither Horde and then linear fusions is
Oh,
about to be unstoppable barriers and over and everything. And think of
so
what's the
what
linear
other ones
fusion
in
in
the
the kinetic
primary?
slot?
Oh, the Arbalist.
That's about if that's the case,
Arbalest.
that thing is about to be broken. Forget the dead man's tail.
It
That's about
already
to be
is.
nasty. Like that's
Yep.
a lot of if that's the case, that's a big problem. I mean,
I
not for
thought the
us. We going,
primary.
we going, we going to melt everything. But like,
No, but there
Let me
needs to
hear
be a
you.
challenge, though.
yeah,
Yeah, what's up, Noel? I can hear you.
You're talking about the primary situation?
yeah, with infinite ammo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the infinite ammo. Yeah, it's gonna get a little hectic, dude. Different weapons got a little different nerf or buff because of the limited ammo, but I'll be looking forward to that with that stasis weapons. I kind of got a little busy at work, so
Yeah. But all right, but what do we? What? Yeah. So that's the other part though. How do y'all feel about stasis weapons, legendary stasis weapons, coming into the game and being a kinetic slot?
I mean, we have to have them if we have all the other elements, right?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
at this point,
you kind of have to have them. But
I'm
if I can be real, stasis is pissing me off.
Stasis was the most toxic thing to come out of Beyond Light, bro. It was fun when it came out, but let's be real, they nerfed it so it's not as bad anymore. But Stasis was disgusting, bro.
Like, yo, for people who don't understand, when you're in Crucible and you hear a Titan or you hear a Warlock pop their stasis,
No, you hear that?
that gives you
How do you
nightmares.
look? How would Grim do it? As soon as you hear that, and you hear that fist cock back, it's a problem. Especially a Titan, they move across that field like it's nothing when they use that super, bro. They slide and they move and they get across and get to you. I'll be scared out my goddamn mind when I hear that.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a scary sound. But like I said, if they're gonna have every other elemental type in there, they might as well have that. The only thing though, our enemy is gonna have stasis shields.
No, there's the thing. They said that they're not, because that's why they're putting the stasis weapons in the kinetic slot. They're not going to be stasis shields, but this because stasis affects you whether you have a shield on or not. It frees
I'm
you.
just trying to see how that plays out. If
Yeah.
you have two different elements, so you could technically have three different. Well, no, that makes sense because only two of those elements are gonna help you when you do nightfalls anyway.
That's not true. When you do strikes, they do have stasis. Remember?
Correct, but I'm talking about when you do nightfalls and
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, like let's say when there's match game on.
Yeah.
You know, we try to coordinate. You know what our secondary and what our heavy is. I don't think that's gonna have. An
But let's
effect on that.
say we get a really powerful legendary kinetic that is stasis, that has the stasis perks or whatever, right? That's going to be coming in, and we take that in there as long with the other element weapons that we have. You're potentially could free somebody with a regular legendary stasis weapon, and then finish them off with that burn. Because if they're inside their shield, you technically can still freeze them whether they're inside their shield or not.
That's true, but I definitely see that getting nerfed very quickly.
Yeah.
Like I see Minotaurs coming at you with void shields. They'll get frozen for maybe 2 seconds, and then they're gonna swat you. Don't matter.
Oh man.
I think Null is still busy at work. I mean, I'm definitely excited for the new season. Change is always good, especially when things stay on stagnant. People have to adapt. You see it in the Crucible. You see it in PvE. For example, Vault of Glass raid. You see people trying, like when we first did it. We were putting the well right dead in the center. Then we started putting the well to one of the portals. Then we started leaving one of the harpies alive. Then
Yeah, it's all trial and error.
Yeah, so like when we have these now they're gonna nerf Anarchy. So all right, what's gonna be the next bet?
Jotun.
know.
Jotun. Wait, no. If not Jotun, Oh, probably go back. Probably go back to what's the heavy linear fusion? Damn.
Sleeper?
Yeah. Sleeper used to get him all the time.
No, but what's the heavy machine gun?
Xenophage?
Remember that? Yeah, the Xenophage. People are talking about just, going back to that. And when I say people, I'm talking about, the streamers that get the viewers. I'm talking about Lucky 10P, Rikakis, is it Cake no, what's his name? It's not Patty Cakes. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I can't remember his name though.
Yeah, I always screw his name up. Shadow Destiny sometimes will put out some content that I'll see. So they'll discuss different ways on getting through things and they'll suggest
but
ideas.
I think the equivalent. All right, so we got this season. We got Breach and Clear, right, for the grenade launchers. I think and then before that, it was the equivalent to Breach and Clear was the one for the snipers and the scouts. What was that? I was the eyeball thing. I forgot what it was, but that was the thing similar to that. I think what we're going to get to the equivalent of those two this year is going to have to do with fusion rifles and linear fusion rifles. That's why I said go back to sleeper. And that's why I think, because like everything's revolving around those weapons this season. Fusions and linear fusions are like going to be the go-to, especially for unstoppables and stuff.
I think it's gonna be more for linear fusions because, like, for example, when we all got that null composure, we are, people found out, put it on the one perk,
Yeah,
reservoir burst,
and then swap
hit the flag, and then swap. Yeah, so people found that out, and Destiny, or I should have said Destiny, Bungie knows, Bungie watches, Bungie sees. They just don't do nothing but the cheaters, but they see what we're doing to breeze through activities. So they're gonna try to make it a little bit difficult for us, which that's perfectly fine with me because I don't.
I mean, we always find a new way anyway. So, like, if not just say like we, but like the community, we always find a new way to do something. So,
yeah, absolutely. Like, let's take for example the raid that came out before Vault of Glass, the Garden of Salvation. That one boss that was the giant harpy, we had to shoot the eyes,
yeah,
and then start doing DPS. We had a lot of different strategies for that. I remember at one point, the heavy grenade launchers with spike nades was working real well, and then all of a sudden that one wasn't good. So we were using Darcy, we were using Whisper, So
and then
that's what I really
and
liked.
then Izunagi's burden was like the way to go.
Yeah, and I really liked that because when we had our raid team together, we would come up with our own strategy. We'll sit there and we'll watch the video on how to do the raid, but then we'll decide on our loadout. We'll decide on our setup. How to do things. So, whatever activity comes out, the fun part is that whoever you're on the team with, you can morph it into your comfort level and your communication style. That's the fun part. But
yeah,
with all the new changes coming out, it's definitely going to take, I think, more time than usual to figure out good loadouts.
Yeah. All right. So, so I brought in a bunch of different things. Like, I know one of Grimm's biggest griefs with Destiny is that it's getting, he feels that Bungie's getting lazier and lazier with coming up with content, which sometimes I feel that's frustration, but it's sometimes, because some of the stuff, like, seems reworked, which can make it seem repetitive. Like Override from this season was definitely felt like something new. It was definitely something new, but it also felt like something similar to what we've done before. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
the Rasputin stuff, the Sundial stuff, the Menagerie, like it's kind of all the same. Like and it was ever since Bungie split from Activision is when we started seeing this.
Yeah. And let's be real.
Even the Crow stuff.
And let's be real. After Forsaken, there was a lot of fun stuff happening. But but the Menagerie was the first thing to actually pop off with this, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, the Menagerie was beautiful.
The Menagerie was beautiful. It was well done.
Yeah.
The Menagerie is so well. I remember the first, and I still got that video on my page. I remember the first time we went in there. That was so much fun. There was the first 6-player activity that had nothing to do with a raid. And we enjoyed the crap out of that. We were like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to make this happen. Blah, blah, blah. Went in there. And then the first boss was a Vex standing on some type of stage. And Collis was laughing at us the whole time while we fighting this dude. This dude had moving barrier walls coming at us. We were like, hold up, what the fuck? We trying to do damage and stand in the wells and the energy spots where we got to do damage from him, but at the same time he's killing us by these moving walls. And we was like, what?
Yeah, and there was also that little completion bar for each activity. So if you didn't finish 100% of it, you actually had to do an extra work to get to the final.
Yeah, you had to go to the next thing, and then the next thing,
and then you got to re-roll your weapons. Like, Austringer was one of my favorite hand cannons to use.
I was so upset when they nerfed that.
Like, you had to decide: do you want a range masterwork, stability, handling? Like, what? Like, you got to decide what kind of like modification you wanted. Now, yeah, you did get the random rolls drop, and that was always kind of fun to do. Black Armory was kind of the same thing, and that was fun for a little bit. Um,
Black
but
Black
I
Armory,
think
Black Armory, I think had a lot more grind though than Menagerie.
yeah, it did. And I think this is the first time I'm going to agree with Grim that the content does get recycled, and that is definitely part of the frustration for I mean, I'm not a D1 vet. I'm going to come on here and say I'm not a D1 vet. So I don't know what D1 was like for people. I'm sure it was real fun because that was on the 360, correct?
Yeah, now now, I'm agree with you. I'm not 100% a D1 vet. I played D1 on my PlayStation a few years after it came out, before D2 came out, or like a year or two after, like whatever. But I actually eventually did play it, but then like I'm not a vet, so it's like it's a little different. I was playing solo, like I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really get much exotics or anything. I just did the story, like.
Yeah. But those people who have been playing since D1, I'm sure they're so tired of the the repetition. D2 being definitely much lazier than it was when Forsaken came out. And not only that, but could we also talk about how at the end of every season, the storyline never finishes. Like we don't get answers.
Yeah, we
You
don't.
know,
We
like I
get
don't
we
even know anything about Rasputin.
Bro, we get
You
open
okay?
ended stuff. Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, I still haven't got the headphones to work yet, but I mean, I was solo in Destiny One, but I could tell you, I played throughout majority of Destiny One, and I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't even mind that stuff coming back, and to be like, it was. Of course, I was by myself, but I had raid teams and I had people to play with every once in a while. But I did most of half Destiny One by myself, and to be honest, I had fun, man.
No, Destiny One
And I
was
mean,
fun. I guess what it is, and all right, this Berserk, and you touched on this before I could. D1 players, like certain D1 players, and not all of them, like Latex, for example, they feel that they are owed so much because they spent so much money from D1 to D2 for all the content, that they feel like something should be given back. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I can kind of agree or understand that feeling, because as someone who's played D2 for so long, how much money have we invested into this goddamn game?
well, I mean, as someone who played in Destiny One, I mean, I can literally say, hey, fuck it, shit happens. Stuff moves on. You lose certain stuff. I think the only thing I would want from Destiny One, to be honest, is my old character. Fuck them. I want my old character back. I don't care where he went. If they died, bring my character back. You can keep all the weapons. You can keep everything. I mean, progress is progress. I mean, take my weapons away. I don't care. I mean, you could have let me keep my character. That's the only thing I really wanted, man. I mean, starting off brand new is cool, but I mean,
I respect that.
time. I mean, you enjoy if you enjoy playing. That's your personal
No,
reference. I mean, if you
that's the thing. I enjoy playing the game, but sometimes I'm like, is the money worth it? But then at the same time, I'm like, I feel like if I was one of the free to play players, I would get bored even faster than I get bored now with the content that they constantly give us. You know what I mean? Free to play players, literally, once they do the main story campaign, went for New Light or whatever, they have nothing else to do unless they buy the season passes or the expansions. That's it. They can do strikes or whatever, and they can only do the old strikes. Like, they're limited. So I'm like torn on it a little bit. But I guess before we end this, I got one last question.
Hold on,
Hot,
before you ask that last question,
yeah.
you said something about Cobalt. Cobalt said something to you
Oh
about
yeah, no, yeah.
about his 2 cents.
Cope, I already touched on that a little bit. RNG, and that's RNG for not just the regular weapons, but raid weapons. And we've all felt this pain. But Cobalt has felt it exponentially. Cobalt did Last Wish more than any of us, and he never got the Thousand Voices.
Yeah.
He never got it, And I'll be honest with you, I kind of understand why he stopped. He put the game down for good. That's kind of off putting. Like he watched us. He watched us all constantly get it before him, and we had less clears.
I mean, at this point, I don't even care about that stuff because how many times have I mean, like I literally have done. I can't remember the raid, but to get the anarchy, I had to do it 36 times because I remember having the emblem that has the number of completions.
Yeah.
And on my 36 completion, I got the anarchy to drop. And then the Eyes of Tomorrow, what are my chances of getting that right now? Because nobody's is really doing that. Vault of Glass with the Mythic class, like I don't even care, man. I just want to get my sniper, get my hand cannon, and jump into PvP.
No, that's real talk,
Tom,
man.
Tom could tell you about tomorrow's the rocket
Eyes
launcher.
of Tomorrow. No, y'all was all with me when I was grinding for that, man. And then I was grinding without y'all for it. And what was it? I had 25 clears before I got the bastard.
I think when I first did it with you, I got my first one.
Yeah, and I was like, "Fuck you, no."
But let's I'll also put this into perspective. Would you want people to be able to get it after multiple tries within 1 week?
No.
Or just keep it so that they can get it, 3 tries per week on a
I think the way it is now is fine. But
Yeah.
I do understand the struggle of the percentage of you getting it. I feel like the percentage can be just a little bit higher. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. And then, like, I know the percentage gets higher as you do each clear, but I don't feel like the percentage that they're saying that we get for each clear is the amount that we're actually getting sometimes. You know what I mean? Because Cryptic, the first time we did it, Cryptic got it on his first run.
Yeah, that's true.
Cryptic got it on his first run when we cleared that raid.
Yeah. And I almost feel like someone should get rewarded, like somebody who I hate to make this a contest, but somebody who did like the best, you know what I mean? Like somebody who didn't die one time or somebody who had the most reses, someone who had the most damage,
Yeah. They should be able to get it too. Something like that.
Or they should get a higher opportunity to get it, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because Latex, when he plays Destiny, he will find a way
to get the highest DPS every time.
Millions and millions of damage. Millions of damage. He will find a way. And this man will stay in his menu for 10 minutes and come out with the most insane build, with the insane mods that'll get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
So when Latex says, I need to go to the tower, you better get your ass to the tower. Let him play around in his vault a little bit, because he will figure out a way to get that DPS out.
Right.
So somebody like Latex, when we do a raid and he's putting out 3 million damage against Atheon, he should have a higher chance of getting the Mythic class than somebody, But then again, someone who's holding the shield is someone who's using Divinity. You know what I mean? That kind of screws them over a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, but like we even came away from that eventually. Like we dropped the Divinity after a while, and we just went straight tether, and then like just went from there. Mm-hmm. And then we got to remember, doing the Vault of Glass raid is going to be easier now because we're higher light. When we were doing it at first, and this is everybody, no one was doing their right amount of damage that they needed to do necessary to Atheon because we weren't high enough light. It just wasn't. We was doing 40%. Everybody in the community was doing 40% less than they were supposed to be doing. It just made it harder.
Except Glad and his buddy who 2-man did.
Oh yeah. Well, no one is God. No one can be as God like Glad. Maybe you could if you really put in the work and effort. But like, I'm be honest with you, I don't know if I want to put in all that work and effort.
Look. Null's at work right now. You work mad hours, insane hours. My work is about to start, which I've actually been prepping for. That's actually why I'm kind of putting the whole streaming thing on hold right now, because school's about to start again. But I think the fun part of that PvE, if you want to have fun, is try different loadouts, get out your comfort zone. I mean, listen, like you said before, I'm a Titan main, playing on the Warlock was a lot of fun.
Yo,
And
ain't
that's a
it?
whole new ability. So imagine, for example, like me, I have the Thunder Crash. I can put out a lot of DPS. But if I switch to a Hunter, now I gotta find a way to put out millions
And
of
I'll be real
damage
with you,
points.
with Atheon, it wasn't easy for me to try to find out, because I ended up doing almost as much as damage as you and Dinky eventually and Cryptic. But it wasn't easy for me to find that loadout, because like you guys had Thunder Crash or Well or whatever, and fusion grenades. You know what I mean? And fusion grenades was doing nasty, nasty work to Atheon. I had to find something.
Oh, it was.
I had to find something, and I ended up finding something. So it made it work. But you like Berserk said, guys, you just gotta play with it, and you gotta find that loadout that's gonna do those DPS numbers, and then you gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing.
You remember for a while, I switched to a Hunter in the Crucible because I felt like the Hunter was more my playstyle.
Right.
Get real like crafty. Get sneaky. Jump over your opponents, dodge and whatnot. Like I felt like that was more my style. But then when I went back to the Titan, I started playing around with my Titan and be like, okay, how can I still play with that same play style up close? Really aggressive. But also snipe, use my barricade and hand
Right.
cannon and stuff. So eventually, I figured that out. I wouldn't say I'm really good. I mean, if you're gonna judge by KD, I'm not at the top. But you guys have played with me. I get my kills. I win a lot of one on one, 1-on-2. Yeah, I've even done 1-on-3 situations of a handful of times. But I think that's the fun of it too. And PvP. PvE, trying to figure out a different loadout, trying to get armor pieces, stat rolls that is going to ultimately just play around to your best setup.
Yeah.
You don't need 100 mobility or 100 resilience. You can have good stats across all your armors, but it's just mad fun.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun trying to figure that out.
What was you gonna say? No. No.
Oh, I was saying I was doing some pretty good damage, but not many people paying enough attention to detail. So was I, but I was doing the damage.
Yeah. No.
gotta,
Eventually, we all started finding things that was working for us, that we was able to get those numbers up. You know what I mean?
now that I can, I kind of want a raid team to go through, Vault Class, but
I don't mind doing something this weekend if you guys are down, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough for us personally because a lot of people have kind of swayed away from Destiny. Whether it's they found other games. I mean, because I'm not gonna lie, like right now, my focus is trying to get better at Apex. Because Destiny PvP, you guys know I'm pretty decent at. Apex, not so much. So like that's something I'd like to work on right now.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just found different games.
Yeah, I
Got
think
tired of the repetition.
I really agree with you on that. Like I started getting competitive in Splitgate. I'm be honest with you. I didn't think I was gonna be that good at that game. But like Splitgate, like that might be my game. That's not it might be my game. I'll be like shotgunning people. I make portals and snipe people through those portals.
yeah,
I might be
feel like
my
that's
game.
gonna be a game I can get into as well.
Yeah, I love me some Splitgate, man. And then like knockouts, then just playing a different bunch of games recently. Like I got back into Monster Hunter and played some Knockout City with Kobold and Null and them the other day. It's just you need sometimes, when it comes to Destiny, you eventually do need that breather.
Yeah, you know what I've noticed from my own personal experience is that when I take a few days off of Destiny and I get back into PvP, I do better than where I left off. And I'm not someone who cares about KD. I don't. I want to get kills. I don't care if I die 10 times, and I get 20 kills, or I die 20 times and I get 10 kills. I don't care. I want to get some kills, and I want those kills to be real nice. So like if I'm in a 1v3 situation and I come out a winner, right? But then at the end my KD is below 1.0, big deal. I had a decent play, and I learned from that.
That's
And
true.
that's a big reason why I stream, because then I can watch my streams. Because I know, listen, I will admit, I do a lot of complaining.
Yo,
in that
wait,
Xbox
did he just say? No, did you hear that? No, did you hear that?
I do a lot of complaining.
No.
And when I watch the stream, I realize the mistake I made. So that's the good thing about streaming. And you know me, I don't put anything on YouTube. Once in a while, I'll send you guys some nice clips.
For sure.
But I watch my streams and I look at where did I go wrong. You know, when I say, oh, I swear that sniper hit him, like I hit him in the head, whatever, and I rewatch it, I look, just taking those things into account as well. It kind of helped me relax a little bit. And yes, my state of aggression is more relaxed than it was a while ago. Okay,
No, it definitely is though. You're not as bad as you once were. Oh man. But y'all heard it here, folks. He admitted it. He admitted it.
I admitted it, and I was doing it today. I've been doing it for the past couple of days too, man, because it does get aggravating. That's why you need to just walk away sometimes.
For
because
sure.
If you don't, man, you're either gonna quit the game for good or you're gonna break your Xbox.
I think that's why we stopped saying, all right, trials this weekend, because it got bad. It got bad, bro. It got bad real quick.
It's not only that, Tone, but we kind of got the weapons we wanted.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
The Shayuras, however you want to pronounce it.
Woo! When I tell you that
SMG,
beautiful weapon,
yes.
man.
We got some good roles. It's always nice to go and compete against players that are good and well coordinated. But we kind of got what we wanted out of that. And why stress ourselves out, doing some sort of activity that we're not going to enjoy?
It's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it. Why put yourself through that situation once you get what you need? It's not worth it.
That's like when I play Gambit, I don't go in there for the win. I go in there to either have the highest enemies killed, the most banked, or the most enemy guardians defeated.
Yeah, because that's how you get the better weapons.
That's my goal. Yeah, but I'm like, my intention in Gambit is never to go in there and saying, let's catch this dub.
Oh man. All right. So let's get us out of here. This is the final question. How do y'all feel about the way that the darkness seems to be all right, so we all know the darkness is here. Next season, it looks like the darkness has embedded itself within like the darkness already was in the tower. We have Vex in the tower. Mm-hmm. How do y'all feel about where we're moving now that the darkness is basically blatantly inside our community in Destiny? Like, it's inside the tower now. You could tell Shax is singing that song. Shax is singing that song constantly. Mara Solve is coming back. Osiris is acting different. Lakshmi is dead. Like, and then we have allies in the Cabal in the Elixni now. We don't even call them Fallen no more. They're Elixni.
Right.
Everything, the whole dynamic is shifting.
I'm gonna make my prediction right now. All right, so you can hear me say it. I think, whether it's I actually think it's gonna lean more towards Ikora than what's his name? Zavala. That we are going to try to restore the light again. That something within the campaign or something within the storyline is going to happen where we're going to try to restore that. Somebody in the tower is going to make the special appearance. And for some reason right now I'm thinking Amanda Holiday. For some reason Amanda Holiday, or even what's her name?
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne. I think one of them is going to bring something about, and then it's going to kind of be that fire team with us, Ikora, and Zavala, or something like that. And I feel like we're gonna be trying to restore the light. That's just what I'm like, the notion I'm getting of this whole darkness thing right now.
Yeah, because at this point, the darkness, and here's the thing. The darkness doesn't even seem to be, all right, just like how we on the light side don't seem to all be of the same mind. The darkness doesn't seem to be of the same mind either. If you know what I'm getting at. Like there's the darkness that's been helping us out by giving us powers, but then at the same time, the darkness is also there's parts of the darkness that's also ruling or that the hive worship, and we're going against the hive. There's so much going on that it's just a lot happening. And then at the same time, are we truly the ones who are bathed in the light? Are we sure the traveler is the good guy?
One thing that really puzzles me, and if you remember when we got the Lament and Clovis Bray mission, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he was the one that kind of fostered this darkness to and what's her name, the Exo Stranger, kind of used it for good, and that's why her and Anna Bray got into a big fight about it. Like in the beginning, like Anna Bray was like, "You're using darkness," and she's like, "Yeah, look at our guardian." And Zavala had a big deal with it, and he's like, you need to be careful. You're bringing it to the tower. We are guardians of the light, and all this that, and like, yeah, you're right. A lot of things are happening. A lot of weird things are happening with Mara Solve coming back. You remember when she disappeared? That was week 3 of when the curse was at its strongest at the Dreaming City.
Mm-hmm.
So she might have been consumed. That's probably where she was at.
Yeah,
so
because she was hiding herself in her. She was hiding herself in her ascended plane, but when she left, what happened? Did she get corrupted? Where did she go? Like, and she knew the darkness was coming because if you saw in that little pool that she could see the future and everything, you see the ships moving. And then Rasputin knew the ships were coming. And he tried to destroy them, but then the ships destroyed the shit out of him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Anna Bray kept saying, trust Rasputin. And then, the Crow. I have to trust Prince Aldrin when Mara Solve is coming back?
Oh, he don't remember.
I don't know, man. And then the Drifter has always been shady, too.
But I'll be real with you. I've always trusted. The Drifter's always been shady. But the Drifter has never necessarily lied. He knew what he was about. The Drifter's always been about survival, whether it's light or dark. You can't survive with one or the other. The two, he's always thought the two have been one coin, just separate sides. He's always used both.
That's very true. And he was, remember when Europa first came out, we had that nasty cutscene that we got to see with Eris Morn and the Exo and him and all that stuff. He was there, helping us out and everything like that. But was he helping us out to obtain the darkness, or he was helping us out because, he's part of the tower now?
I think it's a little of both. Because
I don't know.
The Drifter's always been about his own survival. That's never changed for him. So
I'm just really excited to see how the story pans out. I mean, we said this before. A lot of people are probably disappointed by how the campaign and the storyline, like it's lacking, it's missing, and at the end of every season, like for instance, Keitel, Callus's daughter. That last cutscene when the Scion tried to kill Zavala, right?
Yeah.
And then everyone ran. We never got an answer. We don't know what happened. Because remember, they were joining, like they were making a peace treaty.
No, they made a peace treaty. That's why some Cabal are alliances now. We're allied with some Cabal now.
It's just confusing to me because when they were about to meet, I remember the cutscene. You had Keitel and you had Zavala right there, and then there was a shot at Zavala.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone, Keitel was like, go find that Scion or whatever like that. So, are the Scions going to split from the Cabal? Because they were never Cabal to begin with.
They're not.
They joined the Cabal.
Yeah.
So, there's just so many things that are unanswered right now. And I really hope, especially with Mara Solve coming back, that is something that was a loose end that hopefully will, be brought to light. Not to say light or darkness, but something that we will be able to understand. But I'm excited to see what happens. I'm more excited to do it with y'all guys because we uncover this thing together. We kind of work at the same pace so that we kind of unlock the same steps.
Right.
So I'm kind of excited to do this with a team.
Yeah. What about you, No? Like,
Well,
are you excited for what's to come?
oh yeah, man. I mean, I'm not trying to split off from the objective, but Destiny. I mean, any video game is the same as you would say any anime. I mean, you understand where the story's going to get taken. In my concept, I believe that Marasov has somehow trained to use the Hive Darkness. That's what I would suspect would happen, and we would somehow figure out how to use the Hive Darkness as well. I mean, it seems like concept. I mean, we always are learning different supers
Yeah.
per guardian per season, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I mean, we don't know if Marasov is going to be our enemy or is going to be helping us, and
Yeah. We like at this
But
point.
I mean, I'm looking forward.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. I'm
But
sorry.
I'm
No.
looking forward to next season. It's looking. I mean, it's looking great, man. All the metas, all the story. Story looks awesome. I'm ready to go kick Seventeen's ass, and I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, man, ready to play with the boys.
at this point, we already know we're going to get another darkness subclass. I don't think next season, maybe, but like the next expansion is at this point we already know another one is coming. We're eventually probably going to end up with 3 darkness subclasses, but we know.
Well,
I
dude, if
just
we get
feel
to
that
see the
pace is
subclass,
coming. Hmm?
if we get to see the subclass, I'm done.
Listen, do you think that Dead Man's Tale quest, the Presage quest, seeing that Guardian at the end, because a lot of people were talking about a poison subclass. Do you think that moment right there is hinting towards anything?
I really do. I
Or you
have
think the
heard.
man just died?
No, I really do. Like, Because let's think about it. He was killed by the what? What's that? He was killed by those ether lovers, whatever they are.
The Scorn?
The Scorn. Yeah, thank you. He was killed by the Scorn, technically, right? But the Scorn can't
Mhm.
don't have the ability to do anything like that. So what? So what else was there that attacked him like that? It looks like a darkness plant. Looks like a dark plant poisonous subclass. Let's be real. I really think that. And if that's the
And
case,
on the ship,
no, go ahead. Go
did
ahead.
we not hear Sagira's voice?
We did, and then but you heard anybody who was dead's voice. I heard Cade. I heard Segura. I've heard Callus.
I wonder if any of them are witnesses to what happened in any of them. Because if Osiris left that final battle against the Vex and he did something to get Sagira back, I wonder if she's gonna hold a lot of answers.
That could be the
Hold
case.
on. Honest question: is Sagira actually dead?
She is, as far as we
Did
know.
they say when she
Yep.
died?
Hmm?
I don't think
It
they said
was
specifically if she died.
I mean, we didn't. We never
Yeah,
saw her
on
shell. We never saw her shell. I will say that. But apparently,
Yeah, I mean, the
nah.
only
Didn't we see her?
ghost I
Didn't
seen
we
dead
see her get shot?
that died.
no, we never saw Sagira's shell. All we knew was that we went to save Osiris because he lost his light.
Oh, that's right. That's when we loaded in there, and was it Crow was talking to us, or no, it was the Crow was talking to us. And we're like, "Where's your ghost?"
Yeah.
His ghost had some weird name, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. So
I can't remember.
with that being said, next season hopefully can unlock a little more answers and not leave anything open ended where we don't get any answers or we have more answers or we have more questions. Hopefully we have more things answered than we're left with more questions. But bottom line, guys, if I had to say anything, I don't necessarily think Destiny 2 is trash, but sometimes it's hard to say that it's worth the money. In my personal opinion.
It's rough.
It's rough.
It's rough. But if you have a squad with you, I would say usually you'd probably spend the money, man. I mean, depending on your situation and what's going on in life. But I mean, I'm telling you now, man. I mean, as long as people keep paying for it, playing with it, man.
Say that again. No, you broke up a little bit.
I was saying, like, as long as everybody else is playing your squad, I mean, I'm gonna spend the money and keep playing, man. That's really the concept.
Yeah, at this point we already invested so much. Why stop now? I need to know how this ends. Because we already know
Right.
the end is coming for this game. So hopefully that's
Yeah,
the
that's the
truth.
other thing. Is there gonna be a Destiny 3? Is there gonna be
Please
a
no. Let's just
you
end it
know
with Destiny 2. I just want him to wrap everything up. I don't want a 3. I just want him to wrap it all up, man.
True, true. All right. I mean, I think we had a good discussion here. We talked about PvE, PvP, a lot of insight. Cobalt, Grim, Latex, their opinions definitely shed some light on the topic as well.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with what they said as well.
I already know Cobalt would say trash. Dinky would be like probably trash with him, like, but I still play the game. Grim, trash, but still play the game. Grim would just say it's trash just to say it's trash. He's a bum. So
No comment.
all right. Well, yeah, glad I could have you guys both today. Berserk, thanks for being here, man. Keep an eye out for me more content and streams with Berserk in it, guys. Noah's already with us for a lot of things, so but definitely for Berserk because I'm gonna have him on my other thing soon. Don't get smacked for talking smack. Have him on there soon. Get that popping. Yeah.
We need that 1v1,
Yeah,
baby.
what's
We need
up,
that
bro?
1v1.
Let's get it going. Let's get it going. No, I want to get on that too. No, I want a 1v1.
Y'all don't want to get y'all's cheeks clapped.
He's talking about clapping cheeks.
Yeah. Hey, I got the real cheek clapper. It's called what is it called?
Wait, what?
The thunder, the cloud strike.
Oh, get
That's
out of
it.
here, bro. Get out of here, bro. Cheat hacking behind with the cloud strike, killing everybody in one shot. Hate you.
Listen, anyone in our clan that I've ever 1v1, the only person I have not beaten, and I think I've played him 4 or 5 times. Hats off to Cryptic.
Cryptic
The
is
only one I
nasty
have
as a
not
hunter, bro.
beaten.
Cryptic is one of the nastiest hunters I have ever seen, bro. Real talk.
Not even Hunter. His aim is really on point. His placement, where he places himself on the map, is on point. Now I haven't 1v1 like Cobalt or Dinky or
I
Noel
wouldn't be
or
one
Risky.
latex.
Like I haven't won.
That what 1v1 latex was fun because all we did was snipers and I hated him. I hated him. Now don't get me wrong, I got him a couple times, but like he definitely beat me. But I was like, he was like, we can use power weapon snipers too, Tone. I was like, wait, what? So he shot me with one of the power. What was it? I forgot what it was. What's the one that's black?
That's Whisper.
Yeah, he shot me with the whisper after he said it, and I was like, I hate you. I hated him so
Oh,
much.
you're trash, man.
Yeah.
If it was Darcy, then I would be like, yeah, it's Darcy. But Whisper, man, all right, yeah, you got shitted on.
Yeah, definitely got shitted on.
No,
But yeah.
we'll definitely do like a Rumble match one day, man. Just have some fun.
For sure.
Talk trash to each other and all that.
But yeah, so I'm gonna get us out of here. Thanks again for being a part of this, boys. RIP to everybody else who could be here. Oh man. But yeah, definitely like, comment, subscribe, guys. More Cash or Trash coming within the next few months. Going to have more content coming out as well. And stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm gonna have Binge or Cringe and Don't Get Smacked for Talking Smack with my boy Argent as my guest. So definitely join in for that. But as always, I'm your boy Ideal Tone, and I just made it known. Later.
Peace.